Hi folks. As you can see, I'm not in my normal location. I'm actually in a hotel room in Green River, Utah. Now we'll get to Green River here in just a second. The point of being here was to explore some more of the San Rafael Swell desert area, which is just west of here. And we've been there before. You've seen videos of us kind of exploring northern end of the swell. Right now we're kind of in the middle of it. We're just off of I-70 here. So we've explored both a little bit north and south of I-70. And tomorrow when we go home, we're going to actually travel through the swell from I-70 north up towards Price. I have a map that I've been, marking trails that we've been on. So there's a section of it that I really want to complete, and that's taking it from I-70 all the way north until we exit. So I have a gap in my map, and I want to make sure I fill that. So I can't wait to do that tomorrow. But as we've been talking about different things to do on the channel, we kind of decided that maybe we want to do what we would call a spotlight, in a way, on these towns that we go to, because some of these have some interesting history. So since we were here, we decided we would throw out a little spotlight on Green River, and then we'll get back into our normal trail stuff here in the next week or so. We shot a little bit of footage out here, and we want to make sure we get that put together. So in order to get a decent video out here on Sunday, as we like to do, I decided we would do a little spotlight on this Green River. So, Green River, I've actually talked to a local young lady that I work with. She never even heard of Green River before. And I'd asked if she'd been to Moab, and she said she had. Well, if you're coming from Salt Lake to Moab, you're going to go through Green River. And admittedly, when I was a kid driving through here, I knew where Green River was. I knew when we crossed the river, but I didn't know much more than that. We never stopped here. There was no need. We were going to Moab, and this is just another small town on the way there. Green River is mostly known for melon days. They're big on watermelons. They grow watermelons here, and I can tell you, they are delicious. They are very, very good watermelons. They do have melon days later in the summer, and that's probably their biggest claim to fame around here, I guess. It brings in a lot of people every year. There's 3 RV parks that I know of, 2 that we saw today, and a third one that's off of the main drag that we just discovered, and I don't know much about it, but there's a KOA here, and there is a place called Shady Acres. We've stayed at the Shady Acres. We stayed there last year coming through, or 2 years ago, coming back from Telluride and the Silverton trip that we took. Not bad places if you're in RVing. And right now we're in a Holiday Inn Express, which is, I don't know, I think it's maybe 3, maybe 4 years old. It's a fairly new place, and it's nice and clean. We've had a great time here. The staff has been super friendly, more than I would expect. But yeah, I didn't expect such a nice place in such a small town. There's only 847 residents here, and their height, at the height of Green River's, peak of boom town, if you will, there was like 1,075 people here. So that was back in 1960. The population has slowly been dwindling, but it's still hovering, above 800, which is surprising. There really isn't much to do here other than it's a great place to go explore the San Rafael Swell. But they do have a state park here, Green River State Park. They've got a golf course there and a boat launch to get onto the river itself. It's a great place to get into the river if you're going to go explore like Labyrinth Canyon, something like that. So it's fairly popular for those kind of activities, which we don't do. I mean, maybe we will in the future. I've never seen it, but I don't know. It's just something new to see. As well as we discovered, we've talked about the Spanish Trail before down in Florida. We saw the actual beginning point of it, and I explained how it went up through Utah. Well, it come right here through Green River, and we found some of those steel, I don't want to call them statues or signs, but they've got these silhouette cutouts, steel cutouts that they put in locations along the Spanish Trail. There are some here right on the other end of Green River. That's an interesting part of history. And they've got the John Wesley Powell Museum here, which, unlucky for us, they're closed on Sundays and Mondays, so we won't be able to check that out. But that talks about John Wesley Powell and his expedition of going down the Colorado River, and I would really like to see that. They've got a boat inside of there. I don't know if it's an original or if it's just a replica of what they would have used to go down the river. But I don't know. I'll save that for another time. As far as talking about hotels, there are other hotels besides this Holiday Inn Express. There's a Comfort Inn down here, a bunch of smaller places that I didn't really hear of, and plenty of gas stations. They've now just opened up a new Maverick down here. They've got a Love's here, actually kind of two of them. One side of the street is for autos, one side is more for RVs and truckers. And behind that one, there's actually a little RV overnight stay there if you want to. So they're getting some pretty cool things around here for passersby. Listening to the people down at breakfast in the morning, it sounds like this is just a pretty popular pass-through for people going to different parts of the country for work and stuff like that. So they're stopping over in Green River on their way to wherever it is they're going. I mean, like I said, I-70 is just right there, stone throw outside the window. We're not hearing it or anything, but yeah, I can see that being a main thoroughfare and people needing a place to stay. So it makes sense. And of course, the heater kicks on, whatever. This location is about 100 miles from Richfield, Utah, or Grand Junction, Colorado, to help put that into perspective. You can, like I said, I'm glad to use this as kind of a launching point. If it had been later in the year, this is early March, so it's a little bit cold, I probably would have got the motorhome out and brought it down and staged from one of the RV parks instead of the hotel. But if I wanted to come down here in the wintertime, which a lot of times this is pretty well full access. However, the storm came in last night, and it did snow on us this morning. It was just a skiff in most places, but we got up into some higher elevations and got into some 4-inch snow, and we were the only ones out there breaking trail in the swell area. So that was kind of fun. It was cold this morning, but it turned out to be a pretty good day. So as far as food goes, I would say we ate at Ray's Tavern, which is pretty famous. They have burgers there, and it was pretty good. The Tamarisk was pretty good. It's more of a classic diner. There's a Mexican restaurant down here, plus a new one. There's some signs for a new one that's going to open up, so maybe that'll be pretty good. We'll have to see. They do have a Little Caesars at one of the gas stations, a Blimpies. I believe there was a Subway in one of the gas stations too. So there's plenty of ways to get food, and there's a little market, kind of just off the main drag. It's been around for 40 years. I expected something a little scarier in a small town, but it looks like a clean, nice little grocery store. So if you were to forget something and you need to go in and get some water, toiletries, whatever, this little grocery store should be able to handle anything you needed. So yeah, I don't know, that's kind of what Green River. again, not a very big place, not a whole lot to see here. You'll see it's aged. It's quite aged, but it does have a history. This was part of the United States Air Force missile testing facility. It's out here. We didn't have time to go check it out. I've seen it on YouTube. There's plenty of channels that talk about it. I wasn't really in the mood to go crawling into weird, decrepit places, but they would actually launch missiles from here over to White Sands, New Mexico. This was the main travel path. And the other big thing around here that kind of, I guess, would have created Green River, very similar to Moab, was uranium mining. In the San Rafael Swell, there's a ton of mining history. You'll see that in some of the future videos. But uranium was the big ore they were getting back there during the 50s. So I think that's pretty much why this town exists. And it's just been hanging out ever since. Our room is overlooking the high school, so it's not very big, obviously, with only 847 people. I can't imagine it would need too big of a school, but it didn't look too bad. So as far as little towns go, I mean, stop into Green River if you're passing through. Like I said, they got the Maverick and the Loves for good gas, and you can get a good bite to eat here. If you're along I-70 passing to wherever it is you're going, east or west, or of course if you're going to Moab. This was kind of a spur of the moment type of thing, and in the future we'll do more thorough investigation of the towns, but I think the spotlight thing might be fun in these little towns that we go to all the time. There's, every town has a history, and I'm always interested in learning that. So as we learn it, we'll share it with you, and we'll highlight some of these places that we call home for a short period of time, whether we're in a hotel or the RV or, I don't know, just passing through because we want to see the town. There's plenty of interesting places here in the state of Utah that I haven't seen that I would love to go see. So we'll keep doing them and bring it up to you guys. So like I say, coming up, we should have some more in-depth off-road action in the San Rafael Swell. The Bronco is finished, obviously, that's why I'm here. So we will show you the build video for that coming up. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'd like to bring more and more people in to show you guys what we're doing, and follow us on the social medias. So until then, please have a safe and adventurous week.